Well, what's going on, everyone? Thank you guys for tuning in this week. And as you can see, we're in a different location. I'm trying this out because I don't know if you guys remember in last year's video at New Year's Eve, I mentioned that a goal of mine for 2025 is that I'd like to have a studio. So this is kind of a small step towards that. And I'm working with what I have. So let me know in the comments what you think about the setup and the design. And hey, I could probably make a few small adjustments if the design doesn't really work or the layout doesn't really work. But right now, this is kind of what I'm working with. And I was thinking about using this when the weather's bad, if it's windy or raining or cold. And then if the weather's nice, I'll probably be outside. And then if I'm interviewing somebody, I'll be on location wherever that is. But who knows? If this turns out to actually be pretty good, I might even use this location even if the weather's nice. So you never know. But with that said, I want to dive into today's topic. So let's get after it. All right, so to kick things off, I want to ask us a question. I want us thinking about something. And I know it's going to be very vague and generic, but just bear with me, okay? So if I asked you, when I say outcome, what do you think about? What comes to mind? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, it is vague and generic. I need more information before I can really answer that question. I mean, outcome of what? I know, but outcome really of anything, whether it's goals, dreams, ambitions, jobs, whatever it might be. When I say outcome, what comes to mind? Now, to help facilitate this point that I'm trying to make, I have a clip to show us from the Ed Mylett podcast. He was talking to Matthew McConaughey. I want to say this was last year or the year before, so it's kind of old. And they don't really come out and say outcome per se, but listen to this, what they're talking about, what Ed kind of talks about, and what Matthew kind of brings up as well. And I want to unpack it a little bit on the back end. So let's check this out together.
Hey man, that is wisdom. I think I figured out a version of that, but I'm 52 next month. It took me till my 40s. And I'm like, wow, this finish line keeps freaking moving. It keeps moving. Like, no, once I've got this, or once I got a jet, or I'm living at the beach, or I've got this award, or this many people know me. And it kept moving. And I'm like, this is insane. And to your point, when I started to give myself the gift of, I thought, man, if I don't keep moving the finish line, I'm going to lose my drive. So this thing, even though it hasn't brought me a lot of bliss in my life, it sure keeps me driven and hungry.
Yeah.
And if I let go of this finish line mentality, if when I get there thing, I'll lose my drive and ambition. And to your point, I couldn't have been more wrong, because when I started to give myself the gift of joy in my home, in my life, in my emotions on a daily basis, I actually found I had more energy to pursue the achievements that I want in my life. And I wasn't so damn tired every time I finally got to one of these artificial finish lines.
Amen. And I hear you on your 40s. 40s were a great customizing decade for me too, where I actually learned to trust. Hey, buddy, if you quit pursuing that actual result, you're not going to lose your work ethic. You're not going to lose your drive. You're not going to lose your want to. It's just going to be more natural through the day. It'll actually be more instinctual. And as you say, you don't reach it and go, oh, you kind of get up there and you're kind of going, oh, is this it? It's the old.
Okay, so I don't know if you caught that, what Ed was saying, but when he was talking about the finish line, how it kept moving. And when I get these many people, like followers, or there were this many that know me, and how the finish line kept moving, and he was tired all the time. And when he figured out to stop worrying about the finish line, then he wasn't so tired all the time. And when Matthew responded, and he's like, yeah, like your result, when you stop like focusing on the result, you're not going to lose your work ethic or your drive. Ultimately, what they're talking about there is outcomes, results, outcomes. And when you stop focusing on that, so essentially the outcome is not up to you. And I wonder how many people go through life and live life thinking that the outcome is up to them, because it's not. And if we realize that, I think we can breathe a little bit and kind of take the stress off. Because if you think about it, nothing besides how you take care of yourself and how you interact with others, that's the only thing that you can control, is yourself. That's it. You can't control how people respond to you and how other people respond to situations. You can control how you respond to a situation, but that's it. You can't control the outcome. You could be the most talented person and most qualified person when applying for a job. And the job that you're applying for, they could totally pick somebody else. You have no control over that. Or you might like a certain someone and think that I'm going to marry this person. But who knows? Like, you have no control over that. What about if they want somebody completely different? They respond to you completely different, and you're not really the person that they're attracted to. You might be attracted to them, but they're not attracted to you. You have no control over the outcome of who you end up with, what job you get, or anything. The only thing that you can do is focus on you and how well you do and how well you treat others and how you respond to situations. But outcomes are not up to you. And I think that if we understand that and start realizing that and live that way, we'd be a lot less stressed, because too many people try to hit that finish line, try to achieve that certain status or symbol in society. Like, wow, look at him, he's famous, or wow, look at him, he's smart, he knows everything. But that outcome is not up to you. You can study and you can become smart, and there's always somebody that's going to be smarter than you. And you can keep trying to achieve that. And as you keep trying to work towards trying to be the smartest person on the planet, life goes by. Life goes by. I want to take a moment, especially coming off of the heels of last week's video where I talked about how no more excuses, to take that trip and to go on that vacation if you can afford to. There's something I want to focus on, okay? Because one of my friends from the gym, this was in December. Now, I had already booked that trip that I went on for my birthday. I had already booked it. And I was talking to one of my friends at the gym. This was a Friday. And then I asked him if I was going to see him on Sunday at the gym. And he said, possibly. Well, Sunday rolls around and I didn't see him at the gym. So I send him a text later on. A joke. Just, something for laughs. And his daughter responds from his phone, telling me that he passed away the day before, on Saturday, due to an internal hemorrhage. And that shook me, because I was not expecting that. But the bigger picture is, like I said in last week's video, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Next week is not guaranteed. Next month is not guaranteed. So the outcome of what you do and how you live your life, and you go through day in and day out and go to work and clock in and make that money, which is great. It's good to make money, but don't let that consume you. Don't let that just drive you and you forget to actually unplug and live life, because you can keep working hoping that you will attain this next position, this higher position at this job, and never get it. And then you look back at your life and you wish that you took more vacations and spent more time with family. So when you realize that the outcome is not up to you, I think that life will be better and, like I said, less stressful. So I hope this really helped somebody understand and maybe de-stress a little bit and live a more simplified life, because really that's what it's all about, is to live life as simple as possible. The less stress, the better. So thank you guys for watching this week, and let me know if you guys already kind of thought this way and you already knew that the outcome was not up to you. And for those of you that were living life thinking that the outcome was up to you, that you had control over, anything like that, also comment below and let me know. And like I said, I hope this helps. So until next week, guys, stay safe and live life, have fun, and be responsible. God bless.